Hello, gals and guys. It's your host, Phil Larson, and this is your Motivational High Five on Change. Let's do this. Welcome to my short show, your Motivational High Five. More information on the show at thestoryshoppe.tv/podcast. And on that page, you'll find ways to get involved as well as a donation button. And honestly, I'm not banking on your donations to keep doing this, but there are some expenses to making this happen. And at this point, I don't have any sponsors. And quite frankly, right now, I think sponsorship before or after the episode would take away from the integrity of the podcast. So if you could help me keep this sponsorship free, hey, I'm all for that. Diving right into it, today we are talking about change. And if you ever listen to any of these other episodes, I have mentioned, I think that change is a hard thing for me. In fact, growing up, I was that guy who in his room, he hardly moved anything around. I would collect something like trophies and I would put it on a shelf and, dust would collect and it wouldn't move until I had to move to college or something like that. So I was that guy, and there was an opportunity. I remember when my sister left for college, my parents offered me her room, which was bigger, and I hated change so much. I was like, no, I just want to stay with where I'm at. And my brother, who's 3 years younger than me and embraces change better than I do, decided to take that room. And see, what I do is I fall in love with what's familiar. Do you do that? Do you say, this is who I am, this is what I know, and it's familiar, and life's pretty good, so I'm going to stay right here. Except we never really realize that life could be even better. Because when we embrace change, we invite a new perspective. And here's what I mean. This just happened to me the other day. I woke up and I made my way into the kitchen. I did the dishes like I do normally in the morning. And I thought everything seemed pretty normal. I hadn't experienced any change for the day. It just was a normal day. And then my dog wanted to go outside. It felt pretty nice out. Got some fresh air, put him out on the line, and then I came back in and I realized something. I was hit with this wall of stench. My house stunk because the trash needed to be taken out and it was way past due to be taken out. But I didn't know that because I had gotten so used to it by sleeping through the night and breathing the same air that when I got outside and I had a change in air and I experienced something new, something fresh, I came back in with a new perspective. Have you ever gone to a conference or a convention and you come back feeling fresh, feeling new? You come back knowing things that you were doing, things that you became familiar with. That wasn't okay anymore. Things needed to change to make your life better. It's like you went and you experienced something new, something different, something healthy, and you said, oh, and you were woken up to the smell of trash in your life. When we keep to and fall in love with what's familiar, we miss out on a new perspective of fresh insight. There's this wonderful poem called Autobiography in 5 short chapters by Portia Nelson, and it goes like this. Chapter 1. I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am hopeless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I am in the same place. But it isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there. I still fall in. It's a habit. But my eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down another street. Those who embrace change allow for self-growth. Old habits that trap them in ruts fall away. New habits that propel them forward form. Do you want to be that person? Or have you given yourself an easy out, an excuse saying, "That's just the way I am. I can't change"? If you have said that, that's okay. Me too. But the whole thing about this podcast is saying I don't have to be the same way I was. I can change. And we do that at the end of every 5 minutes of these episodes. We say a positive thing. We invite change in our life by speaking a new narrative, a different narrative, a changed narrative than the one that's been spoken to us by some things that are out of our control and some things that are in our control. Regardless, what we do now is in our control, and this is what we decide to do. We look at a reflection of ourselves. Will you find a reflection of yourself today? And will you say this? Today I can begin to embrace change and attain new perspectives. In order to move forward in our lives, change needs to occur. Makes sense, right? But we can get stuck. We can find ourselves in the same holes we've decided at one point to walk around, and we're back there again. It just is the way that it is. Today, make a choice to walk around it. Or, even better, choose a different street. Your life is meant for good things. Your life was meant to change. Change is hard, but you can do it. It starts with you.